Sunil Chhetri has understandably been the talk of the town, considering the fact that Indian football in recent times has been really riding a new wave, not just of popularity but also good results. Don't forget, they won both the Intercontinental Cup, which is essentially an invitational cup organized by the AIFF that preceded the SAF Championships, and then went on to win the SAF Championships, which was in itself an impressive feat, not because of the fact that it's a continental cup in some ways, but normally the SAF Championships, the level isn't that great. But this time around, we have invited, of course, Lebanon and we had invited Lebanon and Kuwait to actually play in the tournament as well, and therefore the level of it ended up going up significantly. And of course, India had to beat both those teams to get their hands on the trophy, which is of course good, because you want to become better as a footballing team. Well, then you need to be playing top level opposition, or at least opposition who are at the same level or slightly higher than you. Now, Sunil Chhetri has, of course, been front and center of that revolution of not just getting fans to attend games, but also get fans to tune in, whether it be on TV or digital media. And he has also, of course, been responsible for that, not just through his appeals, but also through his goals. In fact, we know for a fact that he's right up there when it comes to the number of top goals scored by an international player for his country. And it's pretty surreal to consider the fact that our very own Sunil Chhetri is on a list where he's behind pretty much only players like Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. But in a recent interview, he actually said that he believes he can be better than them. How so? Why so? Why is he saying that? Well, here's a little bit of context for you. This is what he had told Hindustan Times. He said, "I'm a fan of Ronaldo and Messi, just like so many others, but when it comes to representing the national team, I can be even better than them." Now, of course, if you're looking at it from a statistical standpoint purely, he's not entirely wrong in that regard. And truth be told, it is, of course, worth noting that he has now got only Messi, Ronaldo and Ali Dai in front of him in terms of players who have scored more international goals. It's a pretty phenomenal record and speaks to his consistency levels that he's had over the years, that he's been so prolific for the national team, especially when you consider that during that time, India, whenever they've gotten to big tournaments, have generally struggled to score goals. So the fact that he's gotten these many, well, it's very, very impressive. Although this claim is just as impressive that he can possibly be better than Messi and Ronaldo were for their respective national teams, when you remember the fact that Ronaldo has, of course, won a European Championship and a Nations League with Portugal, and of course you have Messi, who's won a Copa America, a Finalisma, and even, of course, the FIFA World Cup. Statistically, he might not be able to match them in terms of the kind of trophies they won, but when it comes to impact, I'm willing to wager a bet to say that the impact that Chhetri has had in Indian football has been massive, and he deserves to be spoken right up there in the same breath with a lot of great players who have come and gone from the sport. Now, of course, one of the reasons that Chhetri is this highly spoken about is, of course, the fact that he's, pretty much on the wrong side of 30 at this point, yet the fitness levels that he has are phenomenal. So what exactly is his secret? In another interview which he'd been giving recently, he revealed his entire daily regimen, and you'd see just how structured and consistent it is, and you'll understand how it is that a man who's pushing 39 is actually playing like a 29-year-old. At least that's according to an interview that Igor Stimac gave to our platform. You can check that out too if you haven't. But let's first now check out what exactly it is that Chhetri's daily regime is as far as his fitness and, of course, his everyday life. This is what he said. He told this to the Indian Express. He said, "I get up at 6 a.m. in the morning. I read and do some stretching. At 7:30 a.m. I have a coffee, then head to training. I have an ice bath at 11 a.m. once he's back from training. Then at 12:30 p.m. I have lunch and I'll take a small nap. I'll wake up once again at 3:30 p.m. then hit the gym or train double time, whether that be for the international team or the club team. He'll have snacks and dinner before 7:30 p.m. and then by the time it's 10:30 p.m. he's in bed again." Now, this is impressive, especially when you consider the fact that it incorporates not just a good amount of meals, but it also incorporates plenty of work through the day, and also more importantly sleep, because if he's sleeping at 10:30 and waking up at 6, then he's getting about 6-7 hours of sleep at night, and then, or in fact he's getting 7.5 hours of sleep, and then also about 2-3 hours in the afternoon is what he's getting to rest. Now, if you know that rest and recovery is as important to your fitness as actually putting in the work. So in his day, he's actually doing a lot of everything. He's not only putting in the work in terms of training double and also hitting the gym, but he's also getting plenty of rest and fueling his body very, very well. So that, of course, is the reason, and it's really that simple. But doing the simple things right is what has helped Sunil Chhetri stay as fit and hungry for goals and for accolades as he is right now. Of course, speaking of accolades, India do have a very important assignment coming up towards the end of 2023, and that is, of course, the AFC Asian Cup. Now, it cannot be stated enough just how important a tournament like this is for India, because of course you don't normally get to play a World Cup, because right now India just aren't that good enough to be qualifying for one yet. But India have been at least consistently qualifying for the AFC Asian Cup in recent times. Once, of course, the Asian Cup was expanded, more teams were included, India found it easier to make it to that tournament on a consistent basis. Yet that kind of consistency is what Chhetri wants from his players. He said that the Asian Cup is like the World Cup for us. I don't mean to put this pressure on the boys, but we should be qualifying for the Asian Cup every time. Hear that loud and clear. We should be qualifying for the Asian Cup every time. Now, of course, even Chhetri knows at this point that realistically, whenever India do qualify or make it to tournaments like this, that they are in fact underdogs. But it's still nice to see that his goals or his, let's say, ambitions remain exactly the same when it comes to how it is he's approaching the game. He knows that right now with an expanded AFC Asian Cup, that he actually should be motivating the boys to be performing as well as they are, to continue consistently at least qualifying for Asia's top tournament, because again, once they reach there, they'll play better opposition, and that is how they'll get better. It's simply a case of steel sharpens steel. So the more they qualify, the better their chances, not just of course of doing well in the Asian Cup, but potentially inching closer to FIFA World Cup qualification as well, which is of course the ultimate dream if you're not just an Indian footballer, but also a fan of Indian football. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, you can let us know your thoughts. Tell us what you think about Chhetri's fitness regime or his claim that he can be better than Ronaldo and Messi. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, to like it, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon, leave us a comment, follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, download the AajTak app as well. And if you're already on the channel, go ahead and check out some other videos that we've done. But from now, from my side, it's goodbye.